everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here. And of course, like I always tell you, I hope everyone has an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new here, of course, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. And of course, I hope you will enjoy it. What we need for this DIY is, of course, the tumbling tower blocks. What will we do without it? Make always sure that you have 4 until 5 packages laying around in your stash, so you always have enough for each DIY. I have here my container, but of course I do the things inside which I use for that my DIY, but make your own container with everything inside. But the most important is of course the wood glue. You can use some hot glue, but be careful, especially also with this one, be careful that it doesn't break. I have here some paint. This is just an example. Choose any color paint you like. You can even spray paint it, gold, silver. Maybe you like some glam to it. Do whatever you think is right. And I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel on top, which is wet, to wipe away the glue. What we're going to make, we are going to make kind of a riser, kind of a rack. We will see how this will turn out. I have something in my head, but I don't know if this will work out. I hope you join me. So the first step, what we're going to do, we are going to make 3 rows of 6. So 3 rows of 6, and we are going to do some glue on the top side of our block and over here. And we're going to row them very easy together until one piece. And this one, and number 5. And number 6 is of course the closure up. And we are going to do row number 2. Of course, I always love decorating with trays, racks, and of course little risers in my decor. I don't know if I'm one of the, not only one of course, but someone who enjoys it, but maybe you don't totally enjoy it. But let me know in the comment if you like to work with risers, trays and that kind of thing. I have in my house, of course, on my dinner table, and of course on my coffee table, I have some trays because I like that very much. You can decorate it totally. I have big trays, I can decorate it, and if I want to use the table, I just move it apart in one hand. So that's always a great thing to do. So again, make sure that you work in a straight line. This one, going to give it some pressure. And also over here, of course, I should start in the middle. And you see already, I didn't do that. So the chance is that it will pull apart, but it doesn't matter. If your work falls apart, don't worry about it. Just glue it together again, because it is no problem. I had it already so many times. You're going to get your wet towel, wipe away the glue, and of course always make sure that you place it on the side, do the underside, wipe away the glue, and again turn it over to the other side and do the back side, and then give it some pressure at the end. Wipe away the glue. I only do this with this one, don't worry about it. I do the back side and place it over here, wipe away the glue off your mat, and we do here the same. Just turn it over, and you see, it doesn't matter. You just simply get it together again, press it and wipe away, and you clean up your mat. If everything has the shape you like, then let it dry in for at least, I think, 5 until 10 minutes. So, and again on the table, you see, this is the 3 rows we just made, and we do another 3 of 6, because we have on our riser rack, we have 2 pieces of 2 sides, because this will be the sides, at least the start of the side. So again, we're going to row them easy together again, the same like we did with the first one. So we have 3 for each side, but of course this is not the total of the side, because he will be bigger. And the last one over here, number 2 and number 3 and 4, and the last number 5 and number 6 is of course the closure up. We're going to work our way to the ending, give it some pressure, and you see already he is sticking on my fingers over here, and we do here the same. Give it some pressure over here and the same over here. Always take your time for it, because that's the most important. Always take your time for your piece. I'm going to wipe away the glue the same like I did with this one, but you don't have to see that. So now we made our 6 pieces of 3 for each side 3. Now we have 6 rows of 3 again, but now flat on the table, and we only could do the smallest, longest line. So over here, so you get a kind of a little square. And again, you row them very easy together. And this one over here. And this one. And this is a very easy DIY. Everyone can make it, and you can use it for all season because you can decorate it any way you like. And again, we're going to squeeze them this way, and just make sure that you have a straight line. If you don't use a carpenter square just like I do, but if you do, then you don't have to do it because you are going to work against your piece. So I'm going to wipe away the glue and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So, and you see already we have again 6 rows of 3 on the table, because the other ones are for one side and this is for side number 2. And this will be a very easy side, but also the side you can later decorate, give it some texture you like, because I always give you the base, but you can, with your imagination, you can make it totally your own, because that's always the most important, that you make it your own. I always say that's what makes a great DIY, is that you make it yourself and that you give your own twist on it. And again, we're going to squeeze them, and this one, and the last, and I'm going to work away the glue, and we're going to let it rest also a couple of minutes. So now we have all the pieces we need for the sides. We have 3 of the longest pieces, is 6 in a row, and this one 6 pieces of 3. What we're going to do, we're going to place this aside. We're going to do some glue on one side. So again, always make one straight line, place it down, and we're going to glue this one together very gently. Fill in gently the open gaps, because wood glue is very forgiving. You can easily work with it for a very long time. So again, this way, make sure that always the endings are straight. Now you're going to do some glue on this one, but on the underside, because we don't do it flat. This one will be straight up. So you do it on the underside, and we place it straight up against here. Over, you give it some pressure. This way, feel with your fingers that you have it in a straight line, because you don't want that your sides are crooked. So again, we're going to let it dry in for only a couple of minutes. So now we place our piece this way, because if I do it straight up, my mat is too small. So I'm going to do it this way. We're going to get one of the blocks of 3. We're going to do some glue over here, and we're going to glue it on top of here. And again, give it some pressure. Feel with your fingers that you have on top a straight line over here, and you're going to wipe away the glue. You're going to get another one, but we're going to glue this 2 blocks under this one. So you only need to do on 2 blocks on the top some glue. And again, you're going to place it over here. Make sure that you have it in a straight line, and you wipe away the glue. You do here the same, only on 2 blocks. On 2 tops you do some glue, and you're going to place this on the underside under this one. Give it some pressure, wipe away the glue, and you do here the same. Again, only on 2 blocks. You put some glue, turn it over. Always make sure that you keep this one in place if you're going to press this one, because you don't want that everything is falling apart. And if it does, it doesn't matter. Just start over again, because it is easy to glue. And again, 2 blocks again. Go under here, keep this one in place. Make sure that you have it straight under the other one. And again, wipe away the glue. And now the last, and if everything is correctly, you have this in a straight line. Of course, my blocks are not always straight, so I have to look later if they are really straight, but we have to see, or else I need to sand it a little. Again, keep this one in place, press this one together, and we're going to let this dry in for at least a half hour. This is one side. And of course, if everything is correctly, you have again three pieces of 6 piece. And again, we're going to do some smallest line. We're going to place it down, place it over here, give it some pressure, fill in the open gaps this way. And we're going to do on this one, on the underside, we do some glue over here. And we're going to place this one to the side, give it a couple of minutes drying, and then we're going to do the rest. So, and of course we place this piece again over here. We are going to do some glue on this one, and we're going to, this one needs to go a little down because he's a little too high. So we're going to place this one over here and going to give it some pressure. We're going to wipe away the glue. We do here the same. We do some glue on 2 blocks only. Place it over here, keep this in place and press it together. And this way, and we do here 2 pieces. And of course you can also make different shapes inside of it, because you don't have to do it the way that I do. I only give you an example, but if you don't like it, it's totally fine. Just make it your own. And we do some glue on this one. And we're going to give it some pressure over here. The other one, and we are already almost there. And this is another one, and the last of 2. This way. And we're going to squeeze it. And we're going to wipe away the glue. And now we're going to let this dry in also a half hour at least. So in the meantime, while our 2 sides are drying, we are going to use 5 rows of 10. 5 rows of 10. So we're going to lay them flat on the table, because we're going to make shelves in between of trays, just how you call them. And they will be in different sizes, because you already saw the sides are going small, from wide until small. So we are going to do 2 different sizes. So we start with the bottom size, and this is 5 rows of 10, at least the first part. And again, you just row them very easy this way together. And of course, I don't know, but I also saw that a lot of people have the Jenga blocks, but they also have a part brown in their packages. We don't have that here in the Netherlands, so I don't know if the brown color, is it painted, or is it just the wood color is brown? So would you let me know in the comments if it is just the color of the wood is brown, or it is really painted in the brown color? Because when it's painted in the brown color, I understand that it is really hard to give it another color. So I really understand that. Some people say it's difficult to get the color brown in a different color. So I totally understand that, if it is painted, of course. But I don't know, we don't have it here in the Netherlands. We only have the blank colored, or at least a neutral tone color. But the only thing we have is that they are sometimes a really bad quality. But I heard that a lot of people have the same problem with it. So I don't think that's on the country. That's just the fabric of the, at least the structure of the wood. They don't use, of course, the high quality wood, because it is cheap. So they use the wood which is not the best. Maybe some leftover pieces of some tree. I don't know. But it is sometimes really hard to work with. But we don't give up. We never give up. We always make something of it. So I'm going to let this dry in, clean it up, and let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes. So I gave all 5 of them some minutes rest. So I'm going to turn them now this way, and I have a little piece over here. So I'm going to place 4 of them on the side, this way, and they are still not dry. You see it, he is still not totally dry, but it doesn't matter. You easily glue them together again. Do some glue on the top. That's why I show you always everything I have when I'm going to DIY, you do it together with me. And then you see also that pieces are going off. And that's DIYing, because never everything works perfect, at least not with me. I find it always, sometimes when you look at the DIY, I'm always so jealous how people do it, that everything is going great in one time, because with me it never does. It never does. And most of the time it breaks, it falls down, you imagine it. It never works the way I want that it works, but at the end I always say we are still happy with the result, because you can give it a high-end look, just work with it and make it your own, but don't let it discourage you if it doesn't work, because it doesn't work, at least also not with me. So you see already this one also goes out. It is one big mess, and one big mess with glue, so that's also me, a lot of glue. So we are going to let this dry in for at least a couple of minutes. So, and in the little space we have left over, we are going to have 5 blocks on top of each other. So we do some glue on the top, we do some glue over here, row it together on number 3 and number 4, and we row them until one piece again over here, and again squeeze it. And we're going to wipe away the glue over here and squeeze, and let it dry in for only a couple of minutes. So now what we're going to do, we do some glue on the underline of the wider side of the block, so over here. Oh, and we're going to place this one straight up at the ending, so this way. We're going to make sure. And we're going to let this dry in also, and totally at least an hour, because the plank needs to be dry or else it will really breaks. You saw already how easy that goes. Wood glue is great that you can at least a half hour work with it. You can easily break something off. If you have a row too much, just break it off. But you have to give it some time to dry before you're going to glue it on the sides. So now we already have our first plank of a tray, or maybe how you call it, shelf, for the underside. Now we're going to do the smaller one for the top side. So you see already, now we have the bigger shelf, we're going to make now the smaller shelf. We have 5 rows of 6, so 5 rows of 6, and we lay them flat on the table again. We do some glue on the smallest line of the block, and we make 5 little planks out of it. So again, I do it a little bit faster so you don't have to wait too long. And number 3 and number 4. I always find it so relaxing to glue my piece. And you see already, this is not correct. This is one piece. Then that is what you want to do. If you want to do it too fast, and again the last one, and we are going to row them together until one piece, and I'm going to squeeze them and wipe away the glue and let them dry in for a couple of minutes. So now we have our 5 pieces of 6, and I'm going to turn them this way, and we're going to place them on the side, 4 of them. And we're going to do with the same with the bigger one. I don't know how it's possible, but always one of them is going this way. That is probably because the block will be a little offline. And we're going to do some glue on this one and on this one, and then we row them easy together, place it over here, and make one piece out of it again. Over here, and this one. Always go back also to the side, and then we're going to gently fill in the open gaps, because we don't want as less open gaps as possible. So over here, squeeze it, and we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to let this dry in for at least also a half hour. And so in the meantime, while this is drying also, we're going to take 5 blocks again, And we're going to glue them on the top because we also want to give this one a kind of a high-end look on the back side. So over here, and the last, and we're going to place them in one piece. And over here, I'm going to wipe away the glue and let this dry also a couple of minutes. So now we're going to do some glue on the underline over here, this way. And we're going to place it straight up and place it against the back side over here and just give it some pressure over here. And so you have a nice little back side on your shelf. And we're going to let this dry in for an half hour. So I'm going to take one of the sides, and you see already what I didn't tell you yet is that you have to be sure that the extra row of blocks you do on the side, so you get this piece. So you make this row. You have to do this one on this side, but for the other one you have to do it in the opposite direction. So don't make two of the same. I have now, if I place it straight up, I have this one on this side, but for the other one you have to do it on the other side. So you have to turn your piece over and then glue this part on top of here, or else it doesn't, you have it in, we call it spiegelbeeld, but I don't know how you call it in English, but at least you have one which is pointing out on this side and the other one has to do it on the other side. I show it to you in a moment, but first I did make a little piece because we're going to glue the sides on top, and because I have glued this on the side, it is crooked, so it doesn't want to stay down. So I'm going to place 3 flat blocks and 2 straight up, and then I can easily place this one on top of here. So now my piece is even, so I can easily glue my shelves on top of here. So you see already, now I don't have to worry about that it will break or something else. So I'm going to look for, I think I'm going to do mine this way over here. So, and this is the bigger one. So on the ending of the first block over here. So I'm going to do some glue on the underside over here and over here. And make sure that I have it over here. Place it straight up. And make sure that everything is in a straight line. And I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure. I keep it in place for a little moment until it dries in a little bit. And then I can do the smallest shelf. So now I'm going to do the second shelf, of course, the smaller one. I'm going to do over here. And I'm going to place this on the, not the first row, but the second row on the underside. So over here, place it on top of here. And let it fall in and give it a little bit of pressure from the top, and then let it fall in and just let it in place for at least a couple of minutes before we do the second top on here. And of course I have here my second side, and you see already this one is the ending is standing up and this one is standing down, but I will tell it to you later a little bit better. So because my English is not the greatest, so I hope you understand, and I don't want that you are doing it wrong and thinking from how is this possible, it doesn't work. So I'm going to do some glue on top, and I'm going to let this dry in for a little moment, that it settles already a little bit on this wood, and then we're going to place this one on top exactly on the same place like we did with this one. And then we're going to let it suck in for a little moment, and then later we're going to give it some pressure. So now we place gently this piece on top of here, and on the same spot we have the other one. And of course I have to be careful. I have to look that I have it straight. I'm going to let it fall down and then work my way to the place that I want to have it over here, and just take your time for it. That's the most important. Always take your time, because you don't have to rush. You have your own time. And again, you have to go, this one needs to go to the back side a little more. So this is fitting nicely over here. And if you have it on the spot, then lightly give it some pressure. And you see already what I did do wrong. I did some glue on the inside here, and it doesn't have to glue on the inside. But I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to brush it away. So very easy. I will show it you a little bit closer the mistake I did. You see, I have here some glue, so I have to get my glue away. Just with a small brush, I'm just going to get my glue away. This way. So don't do the mistake I do. Don't glue everything. You only need to glue a piece, but this is really easy to do. So now you at least know that all the pieces under here are glued nicely together, and that's also a great thing to have. So again, we're going to give this a little bit extra on top of here because he needs to go a little bit up. And this one needs to go over here. So a little sideways and over here, and then we're going to let it settle in. So, and you see already, this is how he is looking like right now, and I'm really happy with the result. And you can decorate it so great for every season. At least I love it. I'm sorry, I'm a little excited because I love this kind of displays. But I'm going to do some paint on top here. This time I'm going to do it in the dark black color because I like that, because I have a lot of black and little browns and neutral tones. But of course you can also spray paint it in gold or silver. Maybe you can do some little stones, gems you call them, on top of here. You can decorate it any way you like. I like always a little bit more of the simple side. So I'm going to do my paint on top of here, and we're going to paint this black. So you see already he is totally in the black color right now, but you see in a moment a quick impression and how I decorated it. And you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks, a little tray, shelf, how you call it, rack, you can call it anything, but at least I am so happy that I have this one, because I love to making little displays. I hope you enjoy that also, and you make one for yourself. And of course everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy it also. If you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Everyone have an amazing day, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.